Hey everyone, welcome to another English grammar lesson. Today we're going to be covering a specific set of conjunctions called THAMO conjunctions. Okay, so THAMO is an acronym for therefore, however, also, meanwhile, and otherwise. And these are all conjunctions that can be placed in the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. In this video, we're just going to talk about how to use these conjunctions at the beginning of a new sentence. So let's take a look. I was late, therefore I got in trouble. Now just to make sure, the word therefore is what we call a cause and effect word. So if something happens or something is true, therefore something else happens or something else is true. When you think of the word therefore, think of the phrase because of that. I was late, therefore I got in trouble. I was late, because of that, I got in trouble. Another example could be, we won the game, therefore I was happy. We won the game because of that, or as a result of that, I was happy. Cause and effect. Now let's look at however. I like cats, however, I don't like dogs. Notice, and I forgot to say this after the first one, but notice how when we start a sentence with each of these THAMO conjunctions, we need to put a comma after them. And that's because they kind of work like introductions or transitions. So remember that comma, it's very important. Anyway, just to be sure, however is a different or sometimes opposite word. So you might like this, however you don't like that other thing. You might be good at this, however you might be bad at that. So it's a contrasting or a different or an opposite type energy. Another example with however could be something like this. It was raining earlier, however, it's snowing now. So again, there's a contrast there, there's a difference. Now let's take a look at also. I play football, also I play soccer. Same thing here. Put a comma in after the THAMO conjunction because it works just like an intro or a transition. And of course, just to be sure, also basically means as well as or in addition to. Kind of, but not exactly like the word and. So you like this, also you like that. You've seen this movie, also you've seen that movie. Another example with also could be something like this. I bought a pair of shoes, also I bought a pair of pants. So it's kind of an add-on. Now let's take a look at meanwhile. I washed the car, meanwhile my dad mowed the lawn. Same thing here with the comma after the conjunction, and again, just to be sure, meanwhile is a word that shows two things happening at the same time, right? Like, I was at the mall, meanwhile my friends were at school. So at the same time I was at the mall, my friends were at school. So that's kind of how it works. And another example of it could be something like, I play basketball, meanwhile my sister plays softball. Now these two activities don't have to be occurring at exactly the same time, but I spend my time doing this, and she spends her time doing that. And finally, we have otherwise. You need to pay attention, otherwise you might fail. Remember that comma, and as always, just to be sure, otherwise is kind of like therefore, in that it's a cause and effect type thing, but it actually has a very different meaning. When you use otherwise, you're basically saying, if this first part doesn't happen, then the second part is going to happen. Like, you need to get enough sleep, otherwise you're going to be really tired. So if you don't get enough sleep, this will happen to you. And another example of otherwise could be, you need to take a shower, otherwise you're going to smell. So if you don't take a shower, then you will smell. Okay, so let's look at one more example of each THAMO conjunction at the beginning of a sentence. I don't have to work this weekend. Therefore, comma, I am going to the beach. I don't have to work. Because of that, I'm going to the beach. Cause and effect. I have a B in English. However, comma, I have an A in math. My English grade is this, but my math grade is this, showing that contrast there. I'll be quitting my job soon. Also, I'll be moving to Canada. I'll be quitting my job, and I will be moving to Canada. So again, it's an additional thing that I'm going to do. I play the piano. Meanwhile, my brother plays the guitar. So I play the piano, and at the same time, my brother plays guitar. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same time. It just means you spend your time on this, and he spends his time on that. And finally, you need to watch the next video in the series, otherwise, I will be sad. So you need to watch the next video we put out, and if you don't, I'll be sad. Cool. Well, remember, that was just part 1 of our 3-part series on THAMO conjunctions. In our next couple videos, we'll talk about how to put those THAMOs in different parts of a sentence. Either way, whether you came here for a refresher or are just now learning this stuff for the first time, hope this video helped. Be sure to check out the free practice down in the description, and we'll see you next time.